Hey sis, have you been thinking about hiring a book writing coach to help you write your first book? Before you sign up or slide into someone's DMs, let's pause for a second. Because the right coach can help you birth your book, but hiring one before you're truly ready, that's another song and a dance, which can leave you feeling frustrated, overwhelmed, and no closer to the finish line. In today's episode, I'm sharing 4 questions you should ask yourself to help you decide if now is the time and if coaching is the right move for you. Let's get it. Ready to write your first book and make an impact? Do you wish you could organize your book ideas without feeling overwhelmed and actually find the time to write and finish your book? Hey, I'm Donna Cherie, a book writing coach and author. Welcome to Book Writing Made Simple. Inside this podcast, I'll teach you how to get a clear vision for your book idea, get organized, keep it simple, and develop a writing plan so you can finally get your book out into the world. Grab a notebook and pen with your favorite cup of tea. Hey, welcome to Book Writing Made Simple. I'm your host, Donna Cherie, and thank you so much for tuning in today. Today, I want to share with you 4 questions you should ask yourself before hiring a book writing coach. Is now the time for you? Maybe you've been thinking about this for a while. Maybe you've been on your writing journey for quite some time now, and you're just in a place to where you feel stuck, where you feel unfruitful, where you feel defeated during your writing process because you're not making as much progress as you thought or saw yourself making because you've been walking this thing alone. And maybe you feel like you're overwriting, like you're writing too much and you're not even able to go into your next chapter, or that it's not flowing together. And you're at a point where you're just really looking for a book writing coach, looking for accountability, and maybe some other things. So before you take that leap, before you press that pay button or whatever it is that you decide to do, I just want to give you some insight to be able to help you find the right coach that can help you make your dream a reality of writing your first book and holding it in your hands. When I was considering writing a book, I didn't even know that I was going to actually hire a book writing coach. During my first attempt, I tried to do this by myself, and I was able to maybe write like a few paragraphs, but I just happened to be taking a dance class at the time, and I had met some people, and then I had heard about this author course that was coming up. And during that time, I was really like thinking about writing a book internally, but I wasn't thinking about like, who could I get to coach me I wasn't even looking for that. And it's so interesting that God can just put something before you, even though you may not have been asking for it. And from that, they had a Q&A session, and I went to that Q&A session, and the lady who was speaking, she was actually a publisher and not a book writing coach, but she had a coaching program in which she was, helping people become authors. So anyway, I went to that class, and I found it to be really beneficial. I was able to ask all the questions that I needed to, and then I prayed about it, and I was like, this has to be divine. Like, God, I don't believe that there's just coincidences, and I believe that God is very intentional. So when this kind of fell into my lap, as you could say, I was ready to take that leap of faith and actually hire a book writing coach and go through this course so that I can learn how to write a book. But for some of you, you may not have had something jump out at you, or maybe this podcast has. Who knows? If you've been thinking about writing a book for a while, and maybe you've stumbled upon this podcast and you're getting more insight about writing a book, and this desire is becoming stronger and stronger for you. Who knows? Could it be that God has laid this in your lap? in your lap just for you for such a time as this. Regarding the questions, here are some questions that you should be asking yourself before hiring a book writing coach. And of course, this isn't in any order, but just 4 questions for you to ask yourself. So the first one is to ask yourself if you're ready to commit to the process. how long it takes to write a book or at least get your manuscript completed, like your first draft, is totally up to you as the writer. You're in the driver's seat. It is totally up to the timeline that you're on to actually get your book written. And I've seen people write a full manuscript in 10 days, 30 days, 90 days, or even 6 months. So it totally just depends on the writer, how they're in their writing flow, and seeing that they're actually committed to the process to see this whole writing process to the end. So regardless of how long it takes you to write the book, I want you to ask yourself if you're ready to commit to the writing process, because it is a sacrifice. To take some time out of your life is definitely a well worth it sacrifice. A sacrifice of some time when you could be doing something else, whatever that is, whether it's beneficial or not. It definitely requires that sacrifice of time and putting in effort and things of that nature. So ask yourself if you're ready to commit to the writing process. The next question that you should ask yourself is, do I need help with my book idea, creating a simple plan, staying on track with my writing schedule, or accountability? So do you need help in these areas, or what kind of support do you need? Ask yourself that. And then knowing what kind of support you need helps you to find the right coach, because once you've identified those areas of support that you might need, then if it doesn't line up with what it is that you've identified, then you can mark that person off the list. Or if there's certain qualities that you're looking for, even in a book coach. So also identify what's important to you and a book writing coach, whether it's sharing the same values, sharing the same faith, a specific personality. You need somebody to be your cheerleader, who is soft-spoken, or do you need someone who's going to be like a football coach or a basketball coach, and somebody who's really going to stay on you? Are you looking for a specific style of coaching? Are you looking for someone who will pray with you, who will encourage you, or who will push you in love? And knowing this will really help you identify the right coach that's for you. Next, you should ask yourself, what is my why? Like, why do I want to write this book? And you may not know this in its totality before working with your book writing coach, but it's something that you should definitely start to ponder on, why you want to write this book. What compels you to write this book? Even if it's just one word, put it down on your paper. And then the last question, which is a very, 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 very important question, and that is, am I coachable? Are you coachable? Can you be coached by other people? Are you ready for someone else to coach you, to help you write your first book? And be honest with yourself about it. Are you a person who's open to feedback? Being coachable means having the ability to be open-minded and receive helpful, fruitful suggestions that can really help you stay in the writing flow, stay on your writing schedule, help you really get to the finish line in getting your book done. So are you open-minded to the feedback that you might receive from someone as your coach that can help you? Or are you the person who's always defensive or a know-it-all? Because if you are that person, then you may need to work through some things before you consider hiring a book writing coach. Because if your resistance wall is already up, then it's going to be difficult to break that wall down. So are you somebody who's coachable? And if you are coachable, you'll get to the finish line with your full manuscript way faster by being able to take the suggestions that a coach gives to you, the feedback that they provide, and then actually doing the work, actually taking action to put those things that they suggest in place so that you can have your completed manuscript. So to recap, the 4 questions you should ask yourself before hiring a book writing coach are: am I ready to commit? What kind of support do I need? Why do I want to write a book? Am I coachable? And if you answer those 4 questions, you'll begin to understand if this is something that you need for yourself for right now. And you'll be able to make a wiser decision than just, going out here finding all this information. Because for myself, in the past, I was just someone who hoarded information. But once you actually can assess yourself and identify what your needs are regarding book writing, then it'll help you make the wise decision that works best for you. So be sure to journal over these questions. Pray about it. Ask the Lord to reveal it, to drop it in your lap, to drop the answer in your lap. And I'm sure that He will do so. And of course, if you're ready to hire a book writing coach, I'd be more than happy to walk alongside of you. And if you're listening to this episode in real time, you can still sign up for my free live writing workshop happening this afternoon, Tuesday 15th at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let's go. Let's get it. Come on. Let's write this book and birth it and bring it into the world. Go ahead and save your seat at donnacherie.com/workshop. And even if you're unable to attend, you can still sign up and I'll send you the workshop replay so that you have it and can still get all of this good Holy Spirit filled information to help you start writing your book. So again, that's donnacherie.com/workshop. You don't want to miss it. I hope that this episode has helped you and that you will write your first book. And until next time, sis, ciao. Thanks for tuning in. I hope today's episode inspired you to take that next step to write your book. Remember, small steps lead to big results. If this podcast has blessed you in some way, be sure to leave a written review on Apple Podcasts. Your support means the world to me and it helps others to find the show. Also, be sure to pass on the inspiration by sharing this episode with a friend who could benefit from this message. God bless you, sis, and never, ever give up.